Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 11 TV Hill, the best of the I-Team. Now earlier this month, our I-Team exposed the gaps in state law intended to keep racial profiling in check. The problem is what isn't reported. Example, Baltimore County. Lead investigative reporter Jane Miller has that story.
Baltimore County's Police Precinct 1 includes the communities of Catonsville, Arbutus, and Halethorpe. Its population is overwhelmingly white. But black people, despite making up just a fraction of the population, were almost twice as likely as white people to be pulled over by police for a traffic stop, according to our analysis of traffic stops in 1 month of 2014. Black drivers made up 56% of the traffic stops in Precinct 1. Black people make up just 15% of the population.
It really should not look like that, and that's what we've been feeling all along, and that's what we've been hearing. And we wonder why that is.
Tony Fugit is president of the Baltimore County NAACP. A similar imbalance is seen in Baltimore County's Precinct 7, which includes Timonium, Cockeysville, and northern Baltimore County. Here, black drivers make up 28% of police traffic stops in our analysis. Black people are just 6% of the Precinct 7 population.
What is the difference maker? Is it really just a profile type of a situation? We're concerned that maybe African Americans are being profiled for traffic stops.
To guard against racial profiling, state law requires police departments to collect data about traffic stops: race, gender, location of the stop, reason for the stop, and outcome. But what gets reported publicly is far less.
That the existing state reports are useless and are something you would do only if you were almost consciously trying to hide racial profiling.
This is what the state reported about traffic stops in Maryland for 2015, the most recent report. Of 874,369 traffic stops statewide, 38% involve black drivers. The state's population is 30% black. But there is no public reporting that breaks down data like we did by individual county or individual jurisdiction. State officials say the Police Training Commission decided it wasn't feasible to analyze departments individually. So the data in our analysis in Baltimore County, which suggests disproportionate numbers of black drivers being stopped, isn't reported at all.
That has been our battle for years, in that what people want to do is look at the Baltimore metropolitan area as opposed to shining a light specifically on Baltimore County.
We asked for an interview with County Police Chief Jim Johnson. The response: he wants us to respectfully decline an on-camera interview, a spokesperson said. A written statement followed, denying a problem. Based on ongoing analysis of the data and a review of agency operations, the statement read, the County Police Department has concluded it appropriately stops motorists for traffic violations. State law makes no requirement that police report investigatory stops, such as looking for a suspect in a crime. The ACLU says that type of stop may be more prone to racial targeting.
You have a description of a suspect that doesn't tell you anything other than race, and officers then go out and simply stop people of the same race.
They're not required to report that anywhere.
Right.
The Governor's Office of Crime Control and Prevention produces the annual racial profiling report. In a statement to us, it acknowledged the law's shortcomings. In regard to the traffic stops report, the statement says, the scope of the required data is simply not sufficient to draw any conclusions.
Our data also shows that black motorists are more likely to get a ticket versus a warning in the 2 Baltimore County precincts we analyzed, slightly more likely in Precinct 1, up to 33% more likely here in Precinct 7. For the 11 News I-Team, I'm Jane Miller.
Now, Baltimore County Executive Kevin Kamenetz says that he's disturbed by the data, saying that it's the reason he asked for outside help in police training. Well, it's legal, but a substance that many of you may have never heard of. It's called Kratom, and it's very controversial. Earlier this year, the DEA announced its intention to ban it, putting it in the same category as LSD or heroin. But the opposition was so intense that that's now on hold. I-Team reporter Mindy Becerra has two passionate sides of the Kratom controversy.
It's the most tragic of ironies. Dr. Larry Fox is the physician who delivered his middle child, Alex, into this world. And 20 years later, the person who discovered he had left it.
Came home around 2 in the afternoon and it was too quiet. He's a snorer and I didn't hear him breathing. I approached his bed and his color looked bad. I touched him, he was icy cold, and when I moved him, he was stiff. So rigor mortis had set in. I was having trouble accepting what I was seeing, yet, part of me that's the physician knew death when I saw it, knew what I had to do, and my mind was screaming, this can't be my son.
Alex was gone.
When we looked through his room to see what had happened, we found little foil packets labeled kratom. I had never heard of the drug before.
Kratom is derived from a plant in Southeast Asia. For centuries, people have used it to relieve pain, provide energy, or help them relax, depending on the dose. You can drink it in a tea or swallow a capsule. We found it easily available at smoke shops and online.
Alex bought his kratom over the internet, but for a more and more common reason, to help kick an opioid addiction. But with no regulation, there's no way of knowing what you're getting.
According to the medical examiner, Alex died from an overdose of mitragynine, which is kratom, mixed with an opioid called odesmethyltramadol. It's a combination known as Krypton.
You may get something that's adulterated in some way that can be fatal. Alex used this once, and he was dead within a couple of hours.
But Susan Ash tells us kratom gave her life back.
It turned me from somebody who was largely bed and homebound and only leaving the house to see doctors because of chronic pain from a case of late-stage Lyme disease to a functional, productive member of society.
Susan has been taking kratom once a day for 2.5 years. She's so passionate about its benefits, she founded the American Kratom Association, which has thousands of members.
Susan says 40% of its members have been addicted to pain medication at one time, as she once was. She believes if kratom goes away, opioid deaths will go even higher.
We do believe that the answer to this would be regulation, not prohibition. And when I talk about regulation, I mean things like age restrictions and making companies that sell this product test it so that we know that we're getting a safe, pure product and that it's just kratom that we're taking.
Larry Fox agrees, but believes until there is regulation, kratom should not be so easy to get.
I'm not advocating making kratom unavailable to people forever, but I know, because my son died, that you can get something that's supposed to be safe and it can kill you with one use.
It's been 3 years since Larry endured the worst experience a parent can imagine, but it's a small moment from Alex's childhood that haunts him, a day when this exceptionally sensitive child needed extra reassurance.
I wish I had scooped him into my arms and hugged him, because he still needed it. And now I can only do that in my dreams.
For the 11 News I team, Mindy Becerra, WBAL TV 11 News.